大家好，我是 Tim， 我们今天继续来玩《天国降临：救赎2》。好，我们今天这一集，因为我们前一集应该是停留在这个秘密铸币厂这边哈，就是他前面的任务了。我们在格伦德探索他们这个皇家铸币厂的这个资讯，然后发现那个布雷石，这叫布雷石吧？他往那边跑了。对，布雷石。好，所以我们今天就继续解这个白银之路。那我是计划说白银之路这边解完，我是打算就主线就先告一段落，然后就先去解支线，因为我发现这个地图的支线内容还不错。那我有一个很可惜哦，这边大家看到这个翠鸟澡堂，这个我不晓得叫什么区，有点忘。这个原本是没有澡堂的，新开了一间。那其实这边就是一个支线任务哈，然后你就是帮着这个老板娘弄这个澡堂。那最后也有一段演出，那我有把那演出录下来，所以到时候可能就再剪成 shorts 给大家看。那我觉得这个任务还不错，从一开始就蛮有趣味的。然后怎么说呢，就挺不错的，因为它这边真的就是真的就是你这个支线解了之后，这边这个澡堂就开，然后这边的这个建筑物的这个也稍微都会有点不一样，然后也有一些新的 NPC 什么的，我个人还蛮喜欢的，他这个任务的设计。然后这边这个应该算是盗贼公会的部分，我其实先解了前面他第一个任务，那就是他叫我们去偷这个西吉斯蒙德，在这边有一个仓库，他个人的仓库，我们偷了他的这个腊肠，然后再去发给穷人。那只是在发的过程，人家问我是谁的，我是说是西吉斯蒙德的。以国王的名义发的，后来想说，不太对，因为这样好像等于是帮西吉斯蒙德立人设，所以我觉得切内克到时候可能一定会俩拱。我那时候应该选择什么都不说的，不过已经来不及了，大概就这样。然后还有一个蛮重要的是，这个凯瑟琳有给一个准备，这边有给一个支线，然后这个好像会攸关后面可不可以睡凯瑟琳的部分，所以我是觉得，因为我稍微有看一些影片被人家剧透，就是我们在解马来少妇之前，可能就是要尽可能去把这些支线解了，然后中间有一些支线会有一些人会变成朋友或什么的，然后好像最后他是可以一起集结的，所以有点像巫师3的那个过程。巫师3中间的过程其实就是在找盟友嘛，为了最后一战去在那个凯尔莫罕那边可以抵御这个狂烈，对不对？也不是说最后一战了，等于是中间这一个战斗，为了可以抵御狂烈，所以你去到处去解任务，然后最后是卖人情，然后他们就会愿意在那个时段来出手相助这样子。我感觉他这边也是跟巫师3也有一点点类似，不过老实说，这样的一个安排好像也蛮合理的，因为我们本来主角团来这边就没有什么势力，所以我们在到处培养人脉，然后最后一起反，然后召集这些志同道合的，然后也反西吉斯蒙德的同志，然后最后去一起对抗或什么的，也挺有那种冒险感的，所以我觉得也还可以。好，那反正我们这一集就是先解这个主线，然后曼哈德的这个剑士兄弟会应该好了，然后应该是他这个兄弟会好了之后，就可以举办这个竞赛了。应该就回去见他，他应该会给一些东西了，对。然后我们这一集就是先去解主线，然后回去找曼哈德，然后再回去看这个盗贼公会的后续的任务这样子，因为好像都是有演出的，所以盗贼公会啦是有演出的，所以看起来我也是得录。这个翠鸟澡堂我有点后悔，短的一个任务，可是还不错。中间你可以跟 NPC 讨论，你要去帮他叫卖啊或什么的，因为他们新开张要办宴会什么的，然后那个里面的然后那个叫卖的内容，你还可以跟他讨论什么的。我个人蛮喜欢的，这个任务我觉得还不错。不晓得后面还会不会有后续，因为这2间澡堂等于是有点竞争啊，互相在他等于他在搞他这样子，希望会有后续。有后续的话，那我觉得就很不错。好，那我们就解主线吧。 本上我现在只要不要被干，怎么这是私人领地？这样算抢劫？他竟然有决斗长剑！
Thief! You better. You're lost then. We could have sorted this out peacefully.
Oh God, man.
I'm just getting warmed up, you shit. Hey, fuck that.
这是震惊的士兵吗？不是这边秘密铸币厂的。好了，刚吃了一刀。太好了，一个连补个10滴血。这个门不让开，为什么？这么大间的建筑，应该就这一间了吧？这好像进不去。看起来好像不是。哦，我靠，这么南边哦！也，谁的马？你说他这个地图画的是一点都不精准的。
Well, well, well. Look who's here. I knew from the start you didn't come to the works for nothing. But I underestimated you, an embarrassing mistake. I reckoned you wouldn't find anything, and even if you did, little Neri was supposed to get rid of you.
It turned out the other way round.
Congratulations. His wife and children will surely be beside themselves with joy. What to do with you now, snooper? We could come to a reasonable agreement, or underground no one will hear you scream.
Are you trying to offer me something?
If you're reasonable, I'd be willing to pay a tidy sum for your silence.
How much will you pay me?
Well, what's the price for your silence?
超高额贿赂，休想贿赂我。
You can't buy me, Buresh.
That's the wrong answer.
He can't leave here alive! Finish him!
秒杀，嘿，
Show yourself! Bad luck! I'll rip your ass out! I'm all yours!
哎，我都还没拿到顶级剑呢。
Have you had enough, Buresh?
Mercy! For Christ's sake, mercy!
Underground, no one will hear you scream.
No, please. I'll give you anything you want. Just let me live.
I want proof that Mint Master Vavak is involved in this whole scheme.
But I really don't know anything.
Stop lying to my face. Out with the truth.
All right. The whole thing was Ulrich's idea. As soon as he became Sigismund's Mintmaster, he got cocky and began to abuse his power. He grabbed anything he could get his hands on, took away mining rights from anyone who opposed him. Anyone who wanted to keep his station had to pay him a hefty fee. But that still wasn't enough for him. So he came to me one day with the idea that some of the royal silver might not reach the king at all.
Why did he come to you?
The citizens of Kuttenberg didn't like some blow-in turning up to replace Peter of Pisek, and they were even less happy when he started giving them trouble. He'd have a job finding any allies among them. I'm a stranger here too. I've never had it easy here either. Think what you will, but I like Vavag better than all them Rutards, Piseks, and the other stuck-up mine-owning lords.
Wasn't he afraid of Sigismund?
Sigismund came here for the silver. He doesn't care how it gets to him, as long as it does. He trusts the Mintmaster he installed, and he's got no way of knowing something's going missing along the way. Unless someone tells him.
What was his plan?
Surprisingly simple. Bribe anyone who kept records of mining and processing to cook the books. And to keep the Mintmaster free of suspicion, he put me in charge of this whole operation. For a tidy pile of coin, of course. In the end, it wasn't even that hard. No one had the slightest problem with earning something on the side of the king's expense. And when somebody got cold feet, we took care of him.
What are you doing with the stolen silver?
Stolen? Such an ugly word. I prefer diverted, undisclosed.
Whatever. What do you do with it?
It's used to mint groschen. Genuine groschen.
Genuine? I don't get it.
It's simple, really. Our coiners work with genuine coin dyes. We're producing beautiful, new, and especially clean groschen. No one can tell they're not from the Italian court.
So you agreed to help him?
Did I have any other choice? He'd destroy me and find someone else to run the smelting works. I hate to say it, but he knew who to come to.
About the evidence?
Yes?
I need some proof in my hands. Something that proves Vavak's involvement in the scheme beyond any doubt.
And I can count on you to make sure my name is never mentioned? Will you give me your word?
无法保证。
You can never be sure about that. I'll leave you in suspense.
At the mercy of a stranger. What a twist of fate. Here's the key to the chest. You'll find everything you need there. It's behind that door, in the coiner's room. The key to it is right here on the table. You'd better not talk to the coiners. They're an odd bunch.
Is that all?
Aye. Everything.
I'm sure you have something else. Don't tell me you and Vavak didn't exchange letters, for instance.
You must be the devil himself. Here it is. But I'd appreciate it if you kept it to yourself. I'll be on my way. I won't say it was nice to meet you, because that wouldn't be true. I hope we never see each other again.
要杀了吗？彼此啊，放他离开吧。
Likewise.
信都拿到了，的确是不需要鸟他。所以我上一集就讲了嘛，果然是一定要有书信往来。把这边都逛一逛好了，看看有些什么东西。 啊，这个就是我们一开始来的左边。
May God give you health, sir. Where did you come from? Get out of here before you get in trouble.
I'm here to help you.
What are you doing here?
Get out of here. If the guards catch you, there'll be trouble.
You don't have to worry about the guards. I took care of them.
What about Master Buresh? He was here with them just a while ago.
I talked to Buresh. I reckon he'll be on his way now. Heading somewhere far, far away.
What?
I came to get evidence against Mint Master of Vavak. Where can I find it?
There are some books in that chest over there, but it's locked. And only Master Buresh has the keys.
Leave that to me. I still need the genuine coin die from you. It's another piece of evidence.
Everything we do here is clean. Completely.
Except you're minting using stolen silver.
How are we to know where it comes from? It's none of our business.
We're just pawns. We're not hurting anybody.
Nobody's saying any different. Like I said, I'm here to free you. The guards are dead. You're free to leave.
Hang on. That's...
It's just the books you're after, isn't it? Well, so take them and go.
We won't tell nobody nothing. We never saw you here.
Tell me more about this place.
I don't know if we can.
Look, he made it this far. I reckon he knows more than we do anyway.
You're probably right. Well, what do you want to know?
How did you end up here?
Through our own stupidity.
We used to work in the mint in the Italian court. But then, one time, we got a bit drunk on the job.
Well, more than a bit.
And the foreman got pissed off and sacked us.
But then, the mint master himself came to us and offered us a job on the side. He said we'd work somewhere else, for him. And so, here we are.
Who's in charge here?
The mint is run by Master Buresh and his people. Especially that big fella. What's his name? Neri?
They're the ones that bring us food and drink. But other than that, the Mint Master runs this place personally. He visits every week, a friendly bloke, always asks us if we need anything.
We're well taken care of.
Why are they keeping you here?
Well, it's not that we can't leave exactly.
It's just discouraged. It's pretty dangerous around here, what with the bandits and the like.
Don't you miss the world above? Sunshine, daylight?
Not really. Come to think of it, we've got everything we need down here.
They even brought some wenches here for us once. But I'm not really into that, anyway.
We've got plenty of food and drink, and good drink at that.
And coin. When they let us go, we'll be rolling in it.
哇，等你们可以离开的时候就被灭口。
Why don't you want to leave?
We're just supposed to stay here.
And we're told not to go far. The Mint Master would be angry.
I'll take care of Vavak. You have my word. With the evidence I'll bring against him, he'll be finished. When I'm done with him, you'll be the last thing on his mind.
You reckon it's really safe that we could go up top?
I'm sure of it.
So, if he says the guards are gone...
Then we could... What do you think?
I don't know. I can't believe it.
Me neither. We're really...
Free! We're free!
Free!
等一下，我还没问完呢。shit， 他们竟然就直接这样走出去了。哇他妈，真的要这样0.1这样慢慢减，救命！这边是要去干嘛？再把这边探一探再走。这是刚刚那边。哦，这是回头。所以两边是通的了，那没事。哇，应该就直接就出去了。
You can't just stroll around here without so much as a by your leave. Off you go, quick.
不行，我把他灭口。
What? You just crash in here? And with a weapon? What kind of a man are you?
这是我弄晕的那个啦。
Clear off! You can't just stroll in here. Ah! Fuck! I'm bleeding! Ah! Ah!
好，这样就没有目击证人。好，我去找克里斯蒂安吧。非法入侵还不能快速旅行。
Go! Go!
Whoa!
I got the evidence against Mintmaster Vavak.
Really? Let me see.
Here. His handwritten records of the whole scheme.
There are names, amounts paid, mines, smelting works, yields. I'll be damned. This is perfect, Henry. This could wipe him out for good. And you found this in the secret mint.
Exactly.
Well, I have to admit, he had it well thought through. Did you have any trouble getting it?
I had a bit of a disagreement with the guards, so I killed them.
Sacre! Well, I suppose it was to be expected someone would be guarding the secret mint. I hope that's all that happened.
The owner of the smelting works, Buresh, tried to stop me. Luckily, he was reasonable, and we made a deal.
What deal?
I let him go in exchange for him telling me everything.
I understand. He's clever enough to know when he's walking on thin ice. Be it as it may, I'll get in touch with Buresh and have a talk with him. There's one more thing. Was there anyone else in that mint?
There were some coiners being held prisoner.
Jesus Christ! Held prisoner!
Vavak locked them up there to work for him.
My God! He really is an unscrupulous monster. Did you let them out?
I did, but it took some persuading. They were afraid.
Thank God for that. When you talked to them, did you see a coin die anywhere?
They gave it to me quite willingly.
I'm curious. Let me see.
Here.
What the? It's genuine! That means all the groschen minted from the silver stolen by Vavak are absolutely clean! In any case, we uncovered something big, Henry. But I'm afraid no matter what Master Buresh told you at the mint, no one will believe us.
Luckily, I've got this. A letter from Vavak to Master Buresh. He actually gave it to me willingly, for letting him go.
This really is the last piece of the mosaic. But be that as it may, we know enough. I've been thinking it all over while you were gone. The scheme Master Ulrich Vavak von Neuhaus has been running under our nose is incredibly insolent. But it's also one of the cleverest fraudulent schemes I've ever heard of. With those books in Rittard's hands, Vavak won't remain long in his post. And it's now pretty clear who will replace him. And a side income like that could prove useful to many people. If you take my meaning.
打算继续偷国王的东西？
You want to keep stealing from the king?
Oh, come on. Sigismund isn't our rightful king. The less silver he gets his paws on, the less he can pay to his Hungarian cutthroats.
不行，我们要拒绝。我们是好人亨利。
Thou shalt not steal.
Listen to what I have to say first. Everything would stay the same. Entering false figures in the books, processing the ore in the works, a secret mint. Only there would be a change in management. I'll have to find replacements for Fett and Hammond in the mines. But that shouldn't be difficult. A miner jumps at coin like a dog at a bone.
What happened to Herman and Fett?
Not long after you left, Herman disappeared. They saw him on the road to Grunt, and they found Fett on the spoil tip with a broken neck.
You think it's related?
Who knows? Maybe Herman told someone you were snooping around and that Fett talked. Things like that can get you killed.
Shit.
They're both gone, and now I have to deal with it. I'll have to arrange a deal with Master Boresh. But knowing him, he won't be opposed to a reasonable agreement. And I'll take care of the coiners myself. Nothing really changes for you. You can blackmail Vivak all you want, but keep your tongue tied about the whole scheme. I've got a little something here for you, as a bonus. And I'll give you something extra for the genuine coin die. All you have to do is nod.
Doesn't that mean you'll be stealing from Ruthard?
Do me a favor. Ruthard will want to be in on it.
How can you be so sure?
If there's one thing I've learnt about silver, it's that it's got one special property. It never stinks. It surely doesn't smell bad to you either, eh?
It's too great a risk, if you ask me. We could all end up dead.
If we learn from Vivak's and Baresh's mistakes, we'll be fine. Well, what do you say?
I can't promise you that.
And why, if you don't mind my asking? The deal is mutually beneficial.
I'm not a cheat.
This is Kuttenberg, Henry. Either you're cheating or you're being cheated. Which part do you want to play?
I'm simply not going to cheat.
Who do you think you're helping, eh? You think you're a hero?
My conscience.
You'll never get an offer like that again in your life. But so be it. It's none of my business. You made your bed, now lie in it. I'll keep my promise. Here's your books, and here are the copies of the books from the mines and the smelting works for comparison.
Thank you.
It should help the Rutards. Or maybe not. I'm not sure it was all worth it. Now leave me alone, please.
他很失落，他好不容易有一个捞田的建成的方案，改一改就可以用了，被我们这个傻帽道德傻帽给拒绝了。好，那看来这个主线应该到这边就差不多了，我们回去找那个萨德吧。诶。到这边有路直接上去吗？好像没有。现在是几点？应该还可以去找他们。哎呀，门已经锁了 ，shit！ 这样精力太低了。算了算了，回去睡觉。
We have a car. It happens.
How are your knees? It's always on my mind. I promise. Can you have it back this time? I'm not just.
Greetings to you, sir.
Greetings. Are you here to see Lord Rutard, or are you just lost?
The Lord Jesus Christ be praised.
Forever and ever.
I'm Henry. I've got pressing news for Lord Rutard. Take me to him. He's expecting me.
Ah, Henry. Yes, yes. Sir Quinslin mentioned you. I'll let you in. Shimek will take you to the Lord. I hope you'll find the time to listen to what you have for him. You're not the first to come to him today, see?
Well, we're here, but you'll have to wait a while. As you can see, Lord Ruthard has an important visitor, and it seems they haven't finished yet.
I understand.
And what now, Martin? Did you speak to Jerome Naz? Will he support us?
He won't. He lent a lot of coin to Sigismund, and now he's stuck with him.
Sakra.
He's scared. As soon as he does anything to upset him, Sigismund will denounce him as a rebel and right off the dead.
Damn it! Has all his counting groschen not left room for a grain of common sense in that head of his?
Jerome is a vain man. I'm sure he's pleased when the Hungarian king himself listens to him. He was boasting that he'll be in charge of some church talks in the Italian court. There's no way we'll change his mind.
But you've been to see other councillors too, haven't you? Have you any good news from anyone?
Unfortunately not. Some of them are beholden to Sigismund for their office, and some are worried about ending up, forgive me, friends, like you and Peter of Pisek.
Christ above! That's exactly what Sigismund wants. To divide us, to paralyze us with fear.
Divide et impera. God knows, that ginger fox is a master of dividing and conquering.
You are absolutely correct, my lady. Especially when everyone can see your problems. I've heard that Mint Master Vavak is still putting pressure on you.
The devil take that bastard! He had the gall to blackmail me in my own home.
Gentlemen, and my lady, sorry to interrupt, but I have some new tidings about our Mint Master. I've heard about his crimes against the crown, and it's no trivial pilfering.
Are you sure the accusations are true?
I've got proof of everything.
Ha! God bless you, lad. Finally, some good news.
It seems that this young man came to brighten my day. Who do I have the honor of addressing?
Martin, this is Henry, our ally from Liechtenstein. Henry, this is Sir Martin Oderin, Lord of Rabosh, a loyal supporter of King Wenceslas, as no doubt you've already deduced.
Sir, my friend Godwin gave me a ring for you. He said you'd help me if I needed it.
Godwin? Really? Well, you choose peculiar friends.
I'm not sure what you mean, sir.
Godwin shouldn't be giving away what isn't his. But I'll help you if need be, although not on account of that ring.
Sir Kunzlin.
Shimek? What's going on?
Mint Master Vavak is heading here with an armed cohort.
Right now? So be it. This matter must be brought to an end. Shimek, place a gunner on the upper floor and a crossbowman on the stairs. Then gather whoever you can find and join us in the yard.
Certainly, right away, sir.
Henry, we're counting mainly on you. I hope your findings are worth 12 armed men.
100 at least, sir. You'll see.
I'll help you into your armor, Papa.
But quickly, and then go to your chambers and lock yourself in.
What? I'm going with you.
No. So go to your room, take your precious crossbow, and if things turn out badly, shoot any of Vavak's whoresons who stick their noses through the door. If something were to happen to me, you're the next in line in our family. Don't forget that.
I love you, Papa. God Almighty, hold your protective hand above us.
Greetings, Sir Ruthard. Your gate was open, so I took the opportunity for a little visit.
No gate is closed to you, is it? The gates of hell are especially looking forward to your visit. But you're more than well aware of that, eh? Since you don't dare leave home without a horde of men-at-arms.
My men aren't here to protect me, but to enable me to keep order when needed. And today, I got the feeling that order is just what's needed. Or do you disagree, sir?
Weigh your words, sir. One might take them as threats. And be assured, we're very well prepared today for anyone who might threaten us.
Threat? A warning, more like. A friendly warning from the Royal Mint Master. Lord Ruthard, I'm offering you one last chance to surrender your mining rights to me. If we agree, neither you nor your family will have anything to fear. If not, the king will hear of the serpent you nurse in your bosom. And this time, you'll lose not only your fortress, but also your honor and status.
Enough! Do you think you can insult me in my own home? Do you imagine you could do as you please, just because you have Sigismund's favor? That can easily change when the king learns of the serpent you are nursing in your bosom, to cite your own words, sir. Only, considering what I know, you might lose a little more than your honor. Like your head, for what it's worth.
How dare you?
Henry, kindly inform the Royal Mintmaster what is being said about him.
The word is you're in league with Buresh of Krakowitz and Foreman Fett. Together, you've been falsifying the mining records. 1/10 of the silver ingots disappears from the records and ends up in your pockets. That's a capital crime. The king won't let you get away with that, whether Sigismund or Wenceslas.
I'd say this somewhat alters the perspective, sir. So from now on, you will leave me and my family be. Or your king will hear of your shenanigans.
Exactly. We'll see to that. Mark my words.
Are you trying to threaten the Royal Mint Master again? And with nothing but common slander? You haven't learned much since the last time.
Well, we've not had much time for that. We've been fully occupied with collecting evidence. Isn't that so, Henry?
I know about your account ledgers, and the ones from Buresh. The real ones, that prove how you carried out this fraud.
You've made up those books. Or do you actually have them on you?
Of course not. Do you think we're completely stupid? We've got copies here. The original books are safely stashed away out of your reach.
Exactly. And if anything happens to us, they'll see to it that King Sigismund and the town council will hear all about Herma's Trismegistos silver skimming business.
So, do you want to chance your luck, or come to an agreement?
Captain!
Sir!
This matter is an internal affair of the Crown and my office. I'll resolve it here with these gentlemen in private.
Are you sure, sir?
Yes, damn it! Do what I say! Wait for me by the gate.
Let us step inside. Let's give the Mint Master the privacy he requests.
Gentlemen, I expect you'll keep this entire matter to yourselves. And I expect you'll be wanting something in return.
The executioner is far from here, so I'll be standing in for him today. God knows what kind of man you are. May God have mercy on my soul.
What? You can't just cut down the Royal Mint Master. Wait! We got off on the wrong foot.
I'll give you the wrong foot. Right up your ass.
You're right. I underestimated you. I made a mistake.
You certainly did, sir. A big mistake.
The only question is, how much your mistake is going to cost you.
Don't do anything rash, Kunzlin. I understand you're angry, but he could come in useful.
That's true. Intelligent people can always reach an agreement that benefits everyone, and...
You're right. I'm more than angry. Swear you'll leave me and my family in peace, and our mining rights will remain untouched.
You have my word. I swear it.
Good. You know what awaits you otherwise. If Martin believes you can be of use to us, I'll leave it to him. I'm not in the mood for this.
Right. You said intelligent people can come to an agreement. So let's see. We need to know what Sigismund's planning.
Spy on the king? You can't ask that of me.
It doesn't sound like you want to come to an agreement.
You can't.
We can, and we will.
This is nothing compared to the punishment you're facing for what you've done. Either you agree to this, or Sigismund learns all about it. Then you'd have to run damn far to avoid the chopping block.
Henry's right, so don't even think about double-crossing us. You've a lot more to lose than we do.
And don't forget about your oath either.
I understand. All right, I'll do as you ask.
Excellent. And now get out of my house.
Of course.
I'll take my leave too, Kunzlin. I've still got some affairs to deal with today. At least I can see our Mint Master out. I'm sure he'll be delighted to tell me many interesting things.
God go with you, Martin. I hope we'll soon meet again in more pleasant circumstances. Ha ha! Now that was a good one. The mighty Mint Master strode in like a lion, and then crawled out like a whipped dog. Oof. I can breathe a lot easier now we've got rid of that bastard. At any rate, Henry, I'll take those incriminating books. I'll hide them in a safe place, just in case he gets any ideas.
Good idea, sir. Here they are.
Thanks, Henry. You did a fine job, and I'll never forget your help.
Well, you can return the favor right away, sir. You promised to help me get into Malashov.
I did, and I'll keep that promise. There's a secret passage leading out of Malashov, and you could avail of it in the opposite direction.
A secret passage? That's a godsend. Von Burgov won't have an inkling.
He won't. It's well hidden. We didn't even know about it ourselves for a long time, until Rosa discovered it in the fortress one day. She can best explain to you how to find it. She should be in a room. It's up the stairs. You'll see the door on your left.
All right, I'll ask her. Thank you very much, Sir Kunzlin.
Don't thank me yet. The worst of it is still ahead of you.
I know what to expect. It won't be the first time. And besides, I have a score to settle with von Berghoff, and I doubt I'll get a better chance.
I hope you know what you're doing. I wouldn't like to be sending you into death's embrace.
Don't worry, sir. I'm no fool. It'll be all over before they know what's happening. And if anyone wants to lay down his life for von Berghoff, I'll grant him his wish.
See if you can do it without bloodshed. It would be nice to see you again. I'll pray for your success. It would help us in more ways than you probably realize.
What do you mean, in more ways?
Isn't it obvious? We've been sitting with our arms folded until now. And where has it got us? We look helpless, and it's difficult to find allies. But if you liberate Lord Capon, right from under von Berghoff's nose, the word will spread like wildfire throughout the land, and von Berghoff will look like a fool, and he'll lose a strong advantage in parleying. That would help convince some of those who are hesitant about joining us in the fight against Sigismund and the Praguers.
You're right. I hadn't thought of the other consequences. And I reckon even Jobst hasn't realized. Thanks again. As soon as I speak to Rosa, I'll head out right away. I'll get Lord Capon out of Malashov if it's the last thing I do.
You've no lack of courage, son. But you shouldn't count on that alone. Be careful. And good luck. I'll at least look at the books you brought. I'm very curious about what there is on Vavak, and how he did it all.
I wish you a pleasant read. There's more than enough on him in there.
不告而别，应该不会一对话完就直接就进入这个主线了吧？先传个档。
Your father sent me.
So I can tell you how to get to our fortress. A task for the lowest lackey, wouldn't you say? Well, you don't need to answer that.
Right, yeah. That's exactly why he sent me. But how...
What are you staring at? Do you think I was born yesterday? I was listening to you from the top of the stairs. So, this passage, it leads to the cellars, but the outside entrance is hidden underground in a forest, not far from the castle. You can find the exact place if you know where and how to look.
Is it in a cave hidden behind a waterfall?
Well, no. But it would be nice. Listen, nearby Malashov is a stud farm managed by Hashtal, an old friend of Papa's. We had a wayside shrine set up at the crossroads before the stud farm.
A wayside shrine? How do you mean?
Are you a Christian at all? Never mind. It's a big white column. You can't miss it. From the shrine, you should be able to see a group of boulders. Beyond them are the remains of an old chapel. You have to find it, and then there's a kind of... how can I describe it? A window. A gap you can look through.
If it's still standing.
I hope so too. Anyway, it should direct you towards some ruins. Go there. And now pay attention. Somewhere in those ruins is a stone cross. You have to find it and look where its top points to. If you go the way the cross is pointing, you'll find another one, and again follow the direction it's pointing in. That should lead you to a small clearing, marked by a cross in the rocks. You dig there, and you should get to the passageway.
Shit, that's damn complicated.
Of course it is. That's how I designed it. After all, you don't want any old idiot to find the secret passageway to your castle.
True enough. But call me an idiot and explain it to me once more, please.
Maybe in a while. But first we have to discuss something more important. Getting into the castle is the easy part. Don't forget, you have to get out too.
You're right. Horses will be needed. For me and for Capon.
That's exactly what I was thinking. Fortunately, I know how to arrange that. Stop off at the stud farm I told you about, and ask Hashtal for horses.
Are you serious? I'll just introduce myself and he'll give me horses just like that?
Exactly. Please tell Hashtal that Papa is still paying for masses for his dead father, as agreed years ago. And even if he's not too keen, tell him we'll pay him for the horses.
You got it well figured out. Thanks. Don't know how I'd manage without you.
You've done plenty to help, and now it's our turn. Papa said something like that, didn't he? You know, you might not be aware of it, but you saved us from a mountain of trouble. Papa would never admit it, but alone, we wouldn't be able to resist the Mint Master for long. You've earned the right to the gratitude and friendship of our house for all time.
跟我来什么意思？
Would you like to come with me? At least I'll be sure to find that place.
Would you seriously want me there? What if something were to go wrong? Wouldn't a girl like me be more of a burden to you?
Well, you wouldn't be a burden to me. Quite the opposite. I've already seen you know how to take care of yourself.
Thank you. But I can't go nevertheless. Papa would jump out of his skin if he even heard of such a thing. That's why I would like to ask you for one favor, but you mustn't breathe a word of it to anyone. Understand?
Forgive me, my lady, but I'm a decent Christian.
Yes, and so am I.
Well, I'm not here to entertain bored noblewomen.
Oh, I see. When I run into one, I'll warn her, don't worry. But I desire of you something else entirely, you dunderhead. I wanted to ask you, since you're going to be at Malashov, if you could bring me something from there.
And what might that be?
A book. It has great value to me, and I was starting to worry it would stay there forever. But if you're going there now...
And what book is this that's so important?
It's hard to explain to someone uninitiated in the mysteries of writing.
What do you mean, uninitiated? I happen to know how to read.
Really? Mea culpa. You are full of surprises. So if you do find the book, you'll be able to read it.
Well, yeah. That's the way it goes with books.
In that case, I'm not going to make it easy for you. If you'd like to know why it's so important to me, you'll have to find it first.
Fear not, my lady. I'll gladly tear the entire fortress apart to find that book for you.
Restraint, valiant knight. I value your determination, but this way would give yourself away immediately, and I'd remain without my book. Find it nice and quietly, then come back.
Your wish is my command.
It shouldn't be hard. The book is bound in scarlet leather and inlaid with gold. You won't find many like such there. And take this, so you don't get lost in the fortress.
Thank you.
It is quite possible you won't get back to Malashov again. So don't forget about me. And Henry, be careful.
还顺便接了他个支线。
I'm sorry.
How did you become a knight?
I paid for it. When Malashov was vacated, I bought that fortress. Well, first I negotiated with King Charles for permission. Then it was entered into the land register as my property, and my house became the Knights of Malashov. There were still some legal requirements surrounding it, but I won't bore you with those. But personally, I'm pleased that in the history of our house, it was me who managed to elevate it to the nobility.
他竟然是用买的。
You can simply buy a title. Just like that?
Definitely not just like that. But in a certain manner of speaking, you can, yes. It's not at all such an unusual practice among rich burghers nowadays. In Prague, for example, there used to be the Rokitsan burgher family, and they bought Okorsh. That's a castle 3 times bigger than Malashov. It may also happen that some commoner lends the king a lot of money. and the king doesn't have the coin to pay back the debt. So he resolves it by pledging one of his castles. Nevertheless, the old nobility, such as Vavak von Radetz, don't like it, and they despise us for it. They see us as upstarts without a proper ancient origin. But I think in a few generations, if I ever marry Rosa off, that is, it won't make any difference anymore. We'll be established among the nobility, and all these injustices will be a thing of the past. I pray that my house will endure, and that my descendants will live to see it.
Well, enjoy your well-deserved spurs. May your house endure and prosper. What's the political situation in the city? I mean, the politics of support for our side.
All in all, miserable. Bailiff Plymel is also on Sigismund's side, as is his son, who's so corrupt even Vava could envy him. And I tested the waters among the councillors, but it doesn't look good for us at the moment.
Who sits on the city council?
Wenceslas Forsucher, Jerome Naz, Franz Rosenthal, and Andrew Polner. They're from the old and rich burgher families, just like us. Martin tried to negotiate some support from them, but, as you may have heard, we didn't manage to win anyone over. They either have their interests connected with Sigismund, like Naz and the others, or they just don't want to commit themselves, so they don't lose their property and status. That's the only thing you can count on them for.
But they don't sit alone on the council. What about the others?
They don't. Then there are the representatives of the guilds. But to be honest, they don't have that much power. At least not for now. Compared to the old houses, the guild masters only quite recently acquired their positions on the council, so they probably won't risk losing them. But you're right that we might find support among them, especially by promising more council seats. The thing is, we're not yet in a position to fulfill such a promise, and they're well aware of that.
And what about Vavak? He sits on the council, and we've got him in our pocket, right?
He does, along with other representatives of the Italian court, and they'll do what he tells them. Except maybe Friedrich Kummel, but that doesn't matter. Vavak is a slimy bastard who'll sink us as soon as he gets the chance. So I'd like to count on him only when absolutely necessary, because as soon as he learns something he could exchange for a pardon from Sigismund for the crimes you've uncovered, he'll use it to untie his hands.
Thank you for filling me in on the local situation.
Well, there wasn't much positive in it. But you're welcome.
And what about the church? Couldn't it be turned around? You can see Sedlet's monastery from the city. The abbot must have some influence, doesn't he?
He does. And his relationship with the city is not the best. First of all, the abbot is burning through his property. The monastery is having financial difficulties, and all it can do is sell off its village properties. And who do you think is buying them up? The Kuttenberg burghers, first and foremost. Then there's a long-standing dispute over the manning of some churches, which goes back as far as I can remember.
Well, then how about promising the abbot support and getting him on our side? Promises cost nothing, right?
Ha ha! I see you're no newcomer to politics. But we hesitated with the abbot, and he decided to throw in his lot with Sigismund. In fact, he's given him accommodation, and is wining and dining him.
You're right, Sir Kunzlin. It's a pity.
It is. I even wanted to donate them part of my library collection, which they've envied for years, but they can forget about that now.
I'm glad we took care of Vavak without resorting to weapons. They outnumbered us, and they had heavy armor. I'm not really sure we could have held out against them.
If the worst came to the worst, we'd have had to try. We couldn't have backed out. There was too much at stake. But otherwise, I agree with you. We saved the lives of my soldiers, and maybe even our own. Thank goodness for that. After all, I've already fought my hardest battle, and don't need any more like that.
If I may be so bold, can I ask what the hardest battle you mentioned was?
Not long ago, when Sigismund's army besieged Kuttenberg. Back then, I saw things differently than I do today. I'd been advocating parleying instead of armed resistance. I feared, and rightly so, that Sigismund would use it as an excuse to seize property. But I was in the minority, and even my son Venser was convinced of the opposite. We quarreled a lot over that. In the end, he told me that even though I had acquired noble status, my days of glory had faded. He wanted to prove the Knights of Malashov didn't wear spurs just for show, and that we'd earned the armored arm in our crest. When an opportunity arose to strike against the enemy, he rode out, despite me forbidding it. Or maybe because of it.
What happened next?
More importantly, what happened before? Some French knight appeared from God knows where. He said he was a renowned military leader and a personal friend of King Wenceslas, and that it was his sacred duty to defend the city. I no longer know why or how, but he was appointed commander of the city's defense. One of the first things he did was attack the huge trebuchets that were ruining our fortifications. It seems they were poorly defended, and when the Frenchman was putting together a cavalry unit to counterattack, my Venser joined. Only it was a trap, the oldest and most primitive trick, and our renowned French knight let himself get taken in. Of course, Sigismund, or whoever was in command, didn't leave his precious trebuchets unprotected. He had his own cavalry in reserve. When I learned where Venser had gone, I gathered my men and went to his aid. But when we arrived, it was all over. And there was nothing left for us to do but to collect the bodies of the fallen. Venser among them. So, you heard it. My hardest battle was the one in which I didn't even raise my weapon. But I won't make the same mistake a second time. It won't bring Venser back to me. But I'll defend what he tried to defend to my last breath. Our estates, our honor, and above all, our Rosa. God be with you.
所以他现在女儿是唯一一个，看起来这个浪漫线也就只是个亨利，也顶多就是个过客，因为他还想着要让他女儿去嫁给贵族，他要洗这个血统。不过他儿子也算是为这个城市牺牲了。我们的这个任务，阿西塔尔。比较纳闷的是，我们现在还伪钞酒馆那边还没有去下一步行动马来少夫这个城堡好像还蛮小。吧，我觉得我们这个主线就先暂时放一会儿吧。那现在把这些支线解一解，因为我觉得这游戏支线其实作为一个小故事来讲是还蛮精彩的。也别有乐趣。先去找这个剑术兄弟会吧，去找曼哈德。
Was darf's heute Morgen sein?
So, you finally got your way, eh, Menhard?
Yeah. It is a great feeling after all the effort. It is to a large extent your doing, Heinrich. Vielen Dank nochmal. in token of our thanks, recognition, and Freundschaft, I wish to make you a gift of this Langschwert, which I received from my Meister in Frankfurt on the day I too became a Meister.
My word. Thanks a lot, Menhard. This is a great honor for me.
You have earned it. Do not lose this Schwert or bring shame on it.
You can count on me.
And that is not all. Listen well. I also agreed with Friedrich that we will do things richtig. In Kuttenberg, we will hold a great and glorious tourney every week. Offensichtlich, as I promised you, I can teach you the art of sword fighting from now on. I show you Meistertechnique of handling Langschwert. Then Arne show you the basic teachings of combat stance. Arne learned a lot from me and mastered also other weapons than the Langschwert. He has much to teach you too.
A tourney? That sounds good. It will be here in the city.
Genau. It will be by the walls, near to our Fechthalle, one time each week. Always with Langschwert, sword and shield, and free combat in heavy armor. If you want to join, come to me. I write you down and tell you more about it. It will be good practice for you, and you can also gain good rewards and glory.
The art of sword fighting, you say? What kind of things can you teach me?
Alles. Langschwert and other weapons. Meisterschläge and technique. Or just practicing combat. Wie du willst.
I'd love to learn from you. When can we start?
Good. I am glad to hear it. We can start when you want. The first lesson I can give you now. Do not be proud. Be modest. Pride will come back to haunt you in Gefecht and in life. Remember that auch. And since you are in our Bruderschaft, I will teach you one echt Meistertechnik that no one else here knows. You only have to ask.
Thanks for everything, Menhard. I'll certainly come and see you sometime.
Good. One last thing. If you are in need of a bed, you can sleep in the loft of our Fechthalle. Bis bald.
我刚好像忘了问伊娜在哪里。哦，来这儿。
Schönen Tag. Was willst du?
I see you're on your feet and in good health.
Ja. Ja. Gott sei Dank.
What about the eye? How did it turn out?
Gut, Heinrich. I only see cloudy for a day or two. But then the clouds go away. I see the world with new eyes now. Könnte man sagen, healing skill of Master Ibicus is great. I will remember him in my prayer. And I think my injury teach me discretion and humility.
Those are wise words. But it wouldn't be a bad idea to get a proper helmet. Best with a visor. I'm sure you'd look great in a hound skull.
Na ja. When I get enough Groschen, I will kaufen the best in Kottenberg.
然后学他的这个特殊招式。
You said you'd teach me some kind of special technique.
Ja, genau. Get ready. I will show you a special longsword technique that Meister Lichtenauer taught me. It is called Oben abnehmen. First, you attack your opponent's head. If he blocks your strike, attack his face as if you were trying to stab him. If he deflects your blade to the side to defend himself, move your blade around his and cut his head open. If you do that in an unexpected direction, your opponent will have little time to react, and you will strike him well. Come, let us practice zusammen. Oh ja, ja! Das hast du gut gemacht, mein Freund.
上级取胜斩，左下右的，听说这个是相当不要脸的，还蛮强的。哦，他的马叫齐格飞。 真是德意志的这个文化啊。
Go home and sleep it up.
Good day to you.
跟他还任务之前，我们先跟他聊一下这些好了。我那个时候都特别留着没对话。
Tell me about yourself. Where are you from, and what brought you here?
Don't you have anything better to do than listen to that kind of rubbish? All right. I'm from Kuttenberg, son of a tailor. I studied at the university in Prague and met a lot of interesting people there. And let me tell you this. The wisest people in this kingdom know a big change is coming.
You mean that reformation you like to talk about?
A great wind will come and sweep away that which has no firm roots. Then the rain comes and moistens the soil so that new grain can grow on it.
Could you stop with the metaphors?
You're not stupid. I'm sure you understand what I'm saying. There's not much more I could tell you about myself. Except maybe when this is all over and we've established this brave new world, I will return to my studies.
I'm interested in the guild.
Plato or Aristotle?
The guild.
Right. Are you interested in our ideals or the group in general? Generally speaking, we are just ordinary peasants. Paupers, beggars, common rabble. At least that's what they like to call us. The lowest of the townsfolk. But if we're the dregs of the city, we still hold our bare arses high and have a passion for a good cause in our hearts.
I'll be right there. It looks better already.
好简洁，直接帮我们结论完，都甚至没办法一条一条的问。好了，直接跟他回任务吧。
I did what you asked me to do.
Great! So you robbed the chest and fed the poor?
The chest is emptied.
And you left the cabbage for him?
No.
Oh, it was such an easy task. Never mind. What about the beggars?
I fed as many people as I could.
You're a hero. Folk will really appreciate that, you know. They've never eaten like this before. Now, that wasn't so hard, was it? And that feeling of satisfaction. We may not be any richer, and yet...
You know what? I'm beginning to understand the guild's modesty.
See? And now, let's talk about your next job. Just before I tell you more about it, try talking to Rat. I'm sure there are a few side jobs for a chap like you. And Goliath could teach you how to throw a proper punch. He's the best brawler far and wide.
You said you have some more work for me. What is it?
Well, you might have noticed there's some houses in Kuttenberg with peculiar symbols on them.
What symbols?
Kind of little markings you'd easily miss if you don't know about them. But you'll spot them if you keep your eyes peeled.
What are they for?
Before we was here, before the guild, even before Sigismund turned up, this whole place was under the thumb of another gang. They didn't have a name, and they wasn't aiming at a greater cause like us. They was mostly thieves, but it was hard to get the drop on them, on account of how cunning they was.
And they used these symbols?
They thought them up.
And what were they for, these symbols?
It was a way of marking houses. One of the crew drew a symbol to send a message to the others.
Smart idea. But what's it got to do with me?
Being able to use them symbols would come in plenty handy for us. Think of all the benefits. We tracked down one of the old gang recently. His name's Hinek, but he used to call himself Greaser. He was a bit of a know-it-all and made fun of everything. I sent Hogg to find out the meaning of the symbols from him, but I'd rather someone else kept an eye on him.
Where can I find this Hinek Greaser fella?
I'm glad you're up for it. His house is on the edge of the Czech Quarter, near the gate.
Farewell, good sir.
I don't have anything for you yet.
All right.
哇，一次给2个任务，是差事还是几点？看一下。这是差事，好吧？那这个我自己解就好。他好像刚叫我去找老鼠。
I'm sorry.
It happens. Just watch where you're going next time.
Greetings. What do you need?
啊，对，可以跟老板问那个旁边的骷髅。
Where did the skeleton come from?
Ah, another newcomer who hasn't heard of Hugo. I'm happy to tell you because it's a hilarious tale. Have you got the time?
I sure do. Tell me.
Well, then listen carefully. 10 years ago, back when the tavern belonged to another fella, miners used to gather here and play dice for money. Miners are not very rich, and they often lost what little they had to live on. But their wives were understandably pissed off, so they came up with a plan. They clubbed together to buy a skeleton of a hanged man from the executioner, and they hid it in the cupboard where the miners kept their dice, thinking they would take it as a sign from God. But when the drunken men opened the cupboard and saw the skeleton, they were amused. They sat it down next to them, gave her a drink, and even threw the dice when it was the skeleton's turn.
The wife's plan didn't work out so well.
The miners don't come here anymore, but Hugo, as he came to be called, stayed. The miners don't come here anymore, but Hugo, as he came to be called, stayed. I'm telling you, he'll be still sitting here long after our bones are in the ground. Good story, right?
Great. I'd have a drink with Hugo in a heartbeat.
God be with you.
还算有趣。哎，那个。
Greetings, sir. What would you like?
I'm Henry, a new member of the guild.
I'm Rat. That's what they call me. My nimble fingers can deal with any lock. Me and Hog, we're the main workforce in the guild. Hog is my best friend.
Tell me about yourself. Where did you come from? What are you doing here?
I'm doing what I've always done. I'm stealing. But now, I'm doing it for a higher purpose. Because I only steal from the enemies of the Kingdom of Bohemia.
Have you ever thought about finding more honest work?
And let others rob me blind on my earnings? Thanks, friend. I think I'll stick with stealing.
What do you think of the guild?
If you want to talk, go to Chenyek. He's the chatty one. All I can tell you is that ever since the guild began, even thievery makes more sense. Suddenly, I don't feel so guilty. And a part of every haul goes to the poor, so everyone is happy.
Isn't that just an excuse?
Not at all, friend. You can see the results with your own eyes. Most of the city is on our side.
Chenyek said you might have some work on the side for me.
Sure. You did a pretty good job last time. I'll give you that. So, I think you can be trusted.
So, do you have something?
You know the rules. If I tell you about it, you can't back out.
I know how it is. I'll do it.
Good. But there's a catch. It's not dangerous, it's just not for the faint of heart. You see, a certain mine owner recently kicked the bucket, and we need to bring him back to life. That Hanneman rot may have been a cunt, but he sure was rich, and above all, childless. So, by law, the church, the city, and that Hungarian horse son Sigismund will all get a share of his property.
And what do you want me to do?
Fortunately, Rot was vain enough to be buried in a tomb with his rings, and more importantly, his seal. Now do you get it?
Ah, I understand. The guild could use the seal to conclude a few interesting binding contracts, eh?
Most astute. Exactly so. Bring me the seal, and whatever else you find on the way is yours. Corpses can always be difficult, so if you want any good luck charms, just say so.
看起来都是差事。
Where is the dead mine owner's tomb?
Right in the Sedlet's graveyard in the underground ossuary. Just look for a freshly bricked hole in the wall. It might be marked with something.
How do I get to the underground ossuary?
That's the hard part. But maybe one of the monks that take care of the ossuary will help you. There's always one nearby. You just have to figure out how to approach him.
What does the seal look like?
Nothing special. Just a bronze seal on a neck chain.
Good. Now I know everything.
So, break a leg, brother.
Tell me more about these thieves' charms.
One couldn't get by without them in our profession. You can usually buy them cheap from an executioner or knacker, since they're the only ones who can cut into corpses. Fingers, hair, veins, teeth, and fingernails. They're all good if you want to be lucky and not get caught red-handed.
Do you have one of those thieves' charms for good luck?
Naturally. Tried and true. Yours for a few groschen.
Fine. I'll buy it.
不便宜耶。
Is this enough?
You really won't convince me like this. By all means. Here it is. May it serve you well.
What do you have for sale?
Oh, 金直将军。买一下好了。歌利亚在哪里啊？就他还有一个成员。
I'm sorry. Henry, come over here.
Chenyak wants me to do something.
What does he want this time? That idiot would be better off finding himself a woman instead of thinking up damn fool shit. Let me guess. It's something real important that'll help us in our noble cause.
I'm supposed to keep an eye on Hogg, who went to find out the meaning of the old thieves' symbols around Kuttenberg.
And what do you think about it? Are you gonna help him?
I think so. It could help in our fight against Sigismund.
I guarantee you Sigismund don't give a fuck about no scribbles on houses. This is just a missed opportunity for us to line our purses.
You think so?
Look here, friend. If you find out something about them symbols and tell me, and I mean only me, I promise you, we'll make a fortune out of it. They ain't just any old symbols. They're thieves' symbols, see? Help me out, and you won't regret it.
I'll have to think about it.
Don't wear your brain out. There ain't nothing to think over. When you find out more about them symbols, you know where to find me. Take care, sir.
我觉得这一次，我觉得我应该没有要帮他，应该是乖乖帮西内克。啊，我们现在剩什么？哦，他还有支线，看起来应该是这个支线要先把这个差事，要先把这两个差事解完。这个差事我觉得没什么太重要的，我就自己再花时间解吧。看下时间。时间其实算够吧。哇，盗贼暗号我有点想录，不然我们就接着解好了，去找这个前往西内克的家好了。这样可能对整个任务来讲也比较连贯一点。
Good doggy, good boy.
那我们日志要先切换一下。第一间房子就是私干，我还在这边绕。
Who's there? Oh, just you.
God damn it, Hog! What have you done? We won't get anything out of him now.
You've gotta help me.
What the fuck happened here?
Well, he had a fall.
You can't talk your way out of this. I heard you yelling at him from afar.
All right. I fucked it up a bit. But I really didn't mean to kill him.
Tell me right now what happened. Maybe we can sort it out somehow.
Well, Chenyek sent me to go and ask about them symbols. Polite like. Only this bastard started fucking with me.
Oh, the fucker. He was just asking for it.
Oh, exactly. That's what I'm saying. He was laughing in my face, giving me all sorts of riddles. So I lost it and gave him a bit of a slap. Only he caught another one from the table on the way down and it ended up like this.
Chenyek had a hunch this might happen. Did you find out anything about the symbols, at least, before this?
When I start seeing red, I don't ask no questions.
Do you remember anything, at least? Anything?
He talked to me in riddles. So I tell him I ain't no little kid, and to talk to me normal like.
And then?
When he saw the smoke coming out of my ears, he said he'd show me some important parchment, but that annoyed me even more. Do I look like a fucking scribe?
Was there something written on it?
Well, how should I know? I gave him a slap, and that was that. Take a look at it yourself. I reckon you got a better head on you. Quick, search him.
什么发臭的香水？
Take a look yourself.
镇内葡萄园，奇奇又怪怪，竟在你身旁，他的确就在。流水傍其边，现在细心听，睁大你双眼就能看清，就在午钟后，就在阴影中。
So, did you read it?
Yes, but unfortunately for you, it's another riddle.
Della!
Something about a vineyard and running water. I can't make much sense of it.
The bastard! He's fucking with us even from beyond the grave!
Well, it's our only lead to find out anything about the symbols.
Oh, I don't have the noggin for this shit, Henry. Chenyek has the quickest wit of all of us. If you can't crack it, you can ask him. But please, don't tell him nothing about me. Go and see if you can find out.
This key's pretty rusty. Can't have been used for quite a while.
"地窖的钥匙，哪里有地窖？"
Let's get going, Henry. Hear of him.
I'm Henry. Chenyek took me into your group.
Pleased to meet you. I'm Hrudosh, but they call me Hog. Rat and I are the main workforce around here.
What does that mean?
We do what Chenyek and Goliath say.
Tell me about yourself. How did you end up here?
I used to be a guard in the City Watch. But then Sigismund came. and I was running my mouth. So they kicked me out and I started stealing because I had no choice. But I wasn't very good at it. So I ended up, in the pillory. Shenyek and Goliath were strolling around and we started talking about what I did to end up like that.
Let me guess. They gave you a job?
Yes! And they taught me how to steal properly.
What do you think of the guild?
The guild's the best thing that ever happened to this town. It brings, hope for a change. For us and all the poor people.
What, crime paves the way to a better society?
Well, robbing a thief ain't no sin. When Sigismund's gone, everyone will be better off.
It was good to see you, my friend.
绕后去后面这边看一下真的有没有地窖，不然有个地窖的钥匙也是怪怪。这应该是另外别人的家。哦，真的是来来回回跑腿啊！
My humble respect.
歌利亚到底在哪里啊？我想看一下他，还是那个是最后才会露面的？
All the others tossed it just from the smell.
One there after another, as usual. I'll be right with you.
Lord be with you.
Hinnek gave Hogg a peculiar riddle, and we can't quite figure it out.
Old Greaser was known for those. Tell me then, what did he say?
A vineyard in the town. Strange, but who knows? And yet there it is, quite nearby, by the water that gushes. Now listen and try to keep your eyes open so that you can tell. Shortly after the midday bell, you'll find us where the shadow goes.
Sounds pretty mixed up to me. A vineyard. I only know the one outside of town, but Riddle mentions one inside of it. It must be something similar to a vineyard, and the part with the water might be a well? Or maybe a fountain?
Well, thanks. I'll see what I can do.
喷水池，对，是在一开始门口那喷水池。好，我们去门口看一下。好，在室内。
And with you?
Good men, so you can avoid danger. Hear what I say about the greatest evil of all, the one called woman. They look like angels on the outside, soft, gentle, and well-formed, enough to turn even an honest man. Who only cares for trinkets and finery,
Fountain?
and thinks nothing of
Where does the water come from? Here, in the middle of the city.
And don't think this one or that one may be different. They are all
Kurenberg wine from the best grapes, ripened in the Czech sun.
skin deep beauty. If thine eyes offend thee, pluck them out. If thine tongue offends thee,
哪边可以触发对话吗？
base desires. Beg him for forgiveness.
There's something here.
For being brought into this world by a woman. 好学者懂得捍卫灵感来源。
City Council is organizing another collection for repairs to the fortification.
Are they out of their bloody minds? They had 2 collections just like it already. Right, there are still...
What good a fortification if you can't defend?
I'll tell you, no fucking good at all. See, I didn't say I wouldn't
看一下这个诗，哇，他怎么这个？
But I'm not giving them a single grocery until I see cut stones, lime, scaffolding, and 20 men working their asses off.
该不会要中午吧？掠食，一路到隔天中午。
Shouldn't be. I'm sorry.
好吧，这个我只能去找攻略了，因为我有点不太懂他这个要表达什么。还是其实讲的是这一间。 这间进不去，因为它还在盖。城市里还有其他喷泉吗？爬进这个里面看看哈。 不行，都爬不进去。好吧，这个我自己去找攻略吧，因为这样实在是太拖了。觉得这任务我前面一些把它剪掉好了。去接这个支线好了。
You're making a fool of yourself, drinking like that. Good day to you.
Greetings, knight. What brings you here?
I'm mourning. Can't you see?
Did someone die?
My hope. Not far from here, in Sedlets, is buried Sir Valentine. Have you heard of him?
Rings a bell. Isn't he the one who brought holy soil from Jerusalem to Sedlets?
Precisely. Almost 200 years ago, Valentine accompanied the abbot of Sedlets on a pilgrimage to the Holy Land. There, in the field of Akeldama, he took his sword and dug up a handful of dirt, which he brought here and scattered over the graveyard.
Yes. And that's why you're mourning?
My entire life, I've wanted to visit Valentine's grave and see his famous sword. But now that I am here, I'm unable to go inside. I felt so humbled.
I'm truly sorry to hear that. Can I help you in some way?
I don't know, friend. Unless, what if you went to the graveyard instead of me? You could find Valentine's grave and bring the sword here.
What?
Just so I could look at it. Then you would put it back. I'd pay you well for it.
You want me to go to the graveyard and just steal that sword from a grave?
Don't call it that. You're just borrowing it.
Can't you just go to the graveyard and look for yourself?
I've thought long and hard about it, and there's no other way. But I understand if you don't want to help me.
All right then. I'll do it. I'll help you. Where can I find Valentine's grave then?
It's somewhere in the church. But it's not so easy to get inside. I myself am not exactly certain where to look. Try to find Brother Morticius. I heard he's looking for help at the church. Maybe if you help him, he'll help you.
And then in turn, I'll help you.
Precisely. What is your name, friend?
Henry. You are?
I will wait for you here, Henry. Thank you very much.
直接跳过，他不跟我们回答哟。这也是差事啊。好吧，不管了，就解吧。我后来才知道那个 mod， 它其实是按 F 可以直接记录，这样，不是喝那个可以重复喝那个保存药剂。
God be with you, brother. Are you taking care of this chapel?
Morticius is my name, good friend. Though all that is shall one day end. Fame and fortune are but clay. Ad honore, Domine.
Ah, I see. I think.
Though my eyes are old and dim, and I live apart from the world of men. I serve a cause that's good and sound, and companions have I underground.
But slow down. I can't keep up. So, you are the blind keeper of the ossuary?
You speak the truth. And now I ask, if you would help me with one task, will you help me take care of those who sleep below in eternal repose?
You need my help with something?
Christian bones in the church lie scattered. Bringing order to them is a very grave matter. If the prior should see the disarray, he'll send me packing this very day. Then what shall I do, sightless and old? Left alone in this world dark and cold, roaming the earth with a beggar's cane? Help me, dear brother, in God's holy name.
Wait a moment. So there are bones strewn about the chapel, and you want them tidied up?
Aye. 'Tis a job that some might find morbid, but fear not, good fellow. You'll be well rewarded.
Wait, am I supposed to touch the dead? No decent Christian should do that.
Fear not, it is no desecration. God shall bless this congregation. They shall find eternal slumber, all arranged in divine order.
All right, then. What am I supposed to do, exactly?
Arrange the bones in pyramids. Make them nicely stacked. Build one out of pristine skulls. The second out of cracked. The third then build from arms and legs. And here there's quite a lot. But bear in mind the commandment... thou shalt not... thou shalt... Curses! None of the commandments rhymes with that.
Lose thy virtue, thou shalt not?
A pretty rhyme, I must admit. Although you're jesting just a bit. Enough discourse now. It grows late. The task before you cannot wait.
All right, so if I understand correctly, I'm supposed to put the bones in 3 piles. Pristine skulls in the first one, the cracked ones in the second, and the third pile I build from the limbs?
As you say, so must it be. And you shall have a reward from me. To find the bones you'll be needing, though, there are 3 places you must go. But don't forget what lies beneath, and descend to the hidden space. Many bones lie there in darkness, waiting for their rightful place.
I see. So I should gather the bones in the chapel and the crypt underneath, and make 3 pyramids out of them.
And should any bones remain, such as ribs and spines, sweep them up together into orderly confines.
What? I should sweep up the remaining bones too? I better go before you think of more chores.
God be with you.
嗯，刚好都在这边一起。好，我们先把铲子放过来好了，省得哦，这个任务。
Damn, my back hurts so much. Might have found a new one here.
而且还有一本书《王者盛宴》。你看我要捡多少东西？
Dust you are, to dust you shall return.
哦，他这边没有把那个
into a corner.
演出给弄出来。
What's this? It looks like some really old reliquary. What a rare find.
证物箱。
A trapdoor. It seems it leads down into the bowels of the earth.
Isn't it getting crowded in there?
哇，这工作自己一个人干，还真的是挺恐怖的。
Doing God's work sure ain't easy.
哦，我们应该只是把它堆过来而已嘛，对不对？诶，还不太够哎，那代表我们应该有些地方也没捡。
Hey! Are you intact, my dear brother?
I nearly broke every bone in my body.
Ha ha ha! There's no better place to leave your bones, and that's a fact. But they'll serve you much better inside you and intact. The place you're in is black as night. I'll throw you a torch. Let there be light. Look for bones along your way, after all. In the end, you'll have some benefit from your fall.
妈，这老修士还在这边押韵。没想到他居然叠下来还有个动画。
Damn it! That sword isn't here. Now what? This must be Sir Valentine. And he has a sword. Maybe I could just forge one like it, since the real one is nowhere to be found.
啊，我们就这样，然后可以，直接就我们领悟了，我们可以自己打造一把。因为我们看了这个石棺的封面，哇操，原来是这样子啊！这个任务出乎我的意料呢。
What's this? His corpse must have been lying here for several decades, but it looks like he died yesterday. God, our Heavenly Father, have mercy. This looks like the crypt for the monks. Wonder how long they've been lying here.
这还有一个隐秘的通道，我的天！啊，出路在这。 这种地方应该平常也不怕人家闯进来。啊，对，我们没办法直接上去哈，所以就要从那边出去。
This is gonna take a while.
哦，他这个竟然有做动作捕捉。
Fresh plaster, cross on the wall. That'll be it. Oh, damn. The seal isn't here. Somebody got here before me. I'll have to go pay a visit to the local gravedigger.
哎呀，竟然被掘墓人抢占先机。但好像难怪掘墓人会被大家歧视哈。不过这是游戏里的这个剧情需要，现实掘墓人有没有干到这种事情，就不太确定了。
First pyramid is done. Impressive, even if I say so myself.
Manta Mare. If I hadn't built it myself, it'd give me a scare. Just one more.
这样任务应该完成了吧？尝试抢劫掘墓人啊！
Where did that blind madman get to? He was sitting here the whole time, and now he's just vanished. I should ask if anyone saw him. I'm looking for the keeper of the local chapel. His name's Morticius, a wispy fellow. Speaks in verse. I did some work for him, but he disappeared just as he was about to pay me.
Youngster, you ought to sleep more and drink less. Otherwise, you'll come to a bad end.
What do you mean by that?
Morticius was the keeper of the ossuary, all right. Only he died before you was even born.
What? Morticius is dead?
As sure as there's a God in heaven.
But I spoke to him. He wouldn't stop babbling in verse.
For Christ's sake, old Morticius couldn't even read, let alone compose verses. Are you sure you weren't imagining it?
Very sure. I have to find him. He owes me for the work I did.
Go back to the ossuary, then. You'll find him lying in the crypt alongside the other dead monks. Wait, what did this fellow want from you, anyway?
I had to tidy up all the bones in the chapel and arrange them into pyramids.
What? You fooled around in my chapel? May the Lord protect you if you've done any ungodly business in there. Come now, show me. What in God's name? You did all this by yourself?
Well, yes.
Well, friend, you're quite the worker. What a mess this place was. I'll keep it like this. People from all over the land will come here just to see this.
Oh, that's nice and all. But I don't suppose you'll pay me for it, will you?
You suppose correctly. A job well done should be a reward enough for you.
I'm interested in that recent funeral of the rich mine owner, Hanneman Ross.
Yeah, and what's it got to do with me? He's dead. His tomb's in the ossuary.
And you don't know anything about the looting of the tomb?
God, no, nothing. He's dead, buried, and the work is paid for. I don't know anything else.
Fine. We'll let it be, Gravedigger. I want to ask you...
God, again!
Fine.
好了，那直接去闯他家。
Careful！
我靠，原来这个任务竟然是这样子的，太离奇了。等一下，我先把身上那些头骨丢了。妖兽，尝试抢劫他，大家收看看好了，不觉得那东西他会带在身上。我靠，他房子这么大一间，应该也没有结婚吧？
Damn. Charles from the dead. What is that gravedigger up to? But there's no seal here.
哦，他带在身上，他看起来是要准备回来了。
Take care.
还真他妈的，他带在身上，太瞎了。复制一把瓦伦丁爵士的剑，哎呀天哪，这个支线最后竟然是这样子。
Greetings. Do you need something?
I found the seal of the dead mine owner, Rot. Here it is.
Very good, brother. Very good. Did you have any trouble?
Just a minor inconvenience. The grave had already been looted when I got there, so I had no choice but to find and rob the thief. But I'll keep his name to myself. At any rate, the gravedigger now has a good reason to brick up the tomb again.
See how my charm protected you. Things could have also taken a nasty turn.
What will you do with the seal now?
I'll put it to good use, of course. But that's my concern. The guild thanks you. Now that cunt Sigismund and his councillors won't get a single groschen from Rot's will.
I'm glad to hear that.
If you're interested in some more work, or would like to learn something, you know where to find me.
Do you have any more work on the side for me?
Good thing you asked, brother. I've got a hot tip that could be worth your while. But you know how it goes. No job can be taken for certain.
Wait with that. I'll be back later.
Fine. It's not so urgent.
看一下西内克有没有别的对话。
A blessed evening to you.
I don't have anything for you yet.
All right.
没有。
A tankard of ale, thanks. Praise the Lord.
难不成他会有？在这。
Greetings to you. How can I help?
I could use some help with the riddle about the symbols.
If it's one of old Greece's riddles, don't even start. They always give me a pain in the noggin. I wish you a blessed evening.
Have a beer.
看时间。好吧，这一集可能比较平淡一点哈。
Go and see if you could find that house.
还是我们刚刚那个房子没有搜出来正确的东西。
Good day.
不晓得，就这集就到这边吧。这集是稍微偏有一点偏无聊了，但我觉得还可以吧，就是跑腿嘛。我只是觉得比较意外的是，那个瓦伦丁骑士的剑，原来最后是我们看了那个他的石棺上面的这个算画吗？对不对？壁画，石雕啊，应该叫石雕。然后我们就可以回去打造一把。我的天哪，真的是这个有点转得太硬了，让我有点受不了。除此之外，我觉得都还好。然后我应该会，有空我应该会自己去打这个比武大赛了，然后看要不要录了，因为我觉得那个应该就没有什么演出，也不一定哦。我记得他开场的时候应该可能是有演出，好吧？我们下一集有空我们可以去打看看。我是打算继续推主线之前先把这些支线解一解，所以看起来我们有很多的都可以解。我觉得现在比较麻烦就是盗贼公会这个，看起来我们要解这个主线之前要先把这些差事都完成啊，然后这些差事就感觉就真的就是挺跑腿的，不是那么精彩啊。大概就是这样吧。好啦，因为这集太长了，我就不废话了。那以上就是我们今天这个《天国降临救赎2》的游玩内容了。那我们就感谢大家的收看，我们下次见，拜拜。